What is the commitment of the government? These are all critical issues for investors. Because investors have a choice. They can invest in Bangladesh, they can invest in India, they can invest in other countries. So why will someone choose Bangladesh? And I'm trying to frame my discussions accordingly. Rather than going into the challenges that we have, I will try to just share a few perspectives from the investor's point of view. So when we talk about the environment agenda in Bangladesh, or the circular economy agenda in Bangladesh, there is strong political support. There is strong government support for this. And why is it that we have this support? Let me share a few imperatives, and I'll start with the global and then I'll come to the national. We know that the current models of consumption and production are simply not sustainable. That is why we have the Sustainable Development Goals. If they were working, we wouldn't have to rethink development, but we are having to rethink development. And one of the resolutions that we took in the Parliament of Bangladesh is on a planetary emergency. And one of the components of planetary emergency is this whole concept of planetary overshoot. So the resources that we have in the world and in Bangladesh that we are supposed to use over a year, we are using in 8 months. In the future, it's going to be 7 months. Then it will be 6 months. So we need not one, but 2 planet Earths to satisfy our resource requirement. That's where the logic and the imperative of a circular economy comes in. Mr. Musharraf, when he was making his presentation, there was one slide in particular that caught my attention. He was asking the question, or rather he was framing the issue as challenge and opportunity. I think it is both, but the important thing is it is an imperative. It is something we must do. It is an opportunity we have to seize and a challenge that we have to scale. So that is how we look at it. And in the context of Bangladesh, what are our challenges? Climate change, biodiversity loss, waste, air pollution. These are all issues that can be addressed by embracing a circular economy, by making this transition. We also have other reasons. Bangladesh is going to graduate from the ranks of the LDCs, and our businesses have to be competitive. So where will that competitive edge come from? One aspect which has not been perhaps highlighted enough, other than in the Bextor presentation, is that a circular economy is not just good for the environment, it is good for business. People make money out of it. So you have the best of both worlds. You're looking after the planet and you're making money in the process. Yes, we saw from the Bextor presentation that they talk about planet, that they talk about people, and they also mention profit. If the transition was not profitable, Bexinco would not be doing this just for people and planet, because we are looking for win-win solutions. So this is something that we have. We have a very ambitious Mujib Climate Prosperity Plan, where we are trying to make the transition from vulnerability to resilience and then to prosperity. So this also falls in within that. We are championing nature-based solutions. We are looking at waste as wealth. We are trying to recycle. So everything that we are doing is in alignment with the concept of a circular economy. So in terms of government support, there is very strong government support. There are absolutely no doubts on that. One of the questions from the floor was about the micro, small and medium enterprises. And I don't have any recent study, but I remember back in 2003, there was a study by the private sector. We have over 6 million establishments that employ less than 100 people. And a lot of them are part of the informal economy. So for us, if we can really alight the notion of a circular economy among this segment, then it is also going to enable us to integrate the informal economy and mainstream it into our central economy. So that's another huge advantage. And last but not least, the cost of environmental degradation in Bangladesh. The cost. We are growing at 6%, 7%. There was a study from the World Bank back in 1996, which talked about the environmental degradation cost to be 5% of our GDP. And I'm sure it's a lot more now. So if it is going to be, for say, 7% or 8%, and we are growing at 6%, that's -2, -2. We are not actually growing. So for Bangladesh to grow, we must embrace circular economy. This is the trajectory that we have to go on. And this, I think, is the most important part. Because whether it is our competitiveness, whether it is going along the path of the growth trajectory that we have, trillion-dollar economy, yes, but what will be the cost to the environment? That is what we have to think about. And this is a unique club. You know, I believe Netherlands, and Charles, you'll be able to say this better, Netherlands was probably the last country to become a member of the trillion-dollar club in terms of size of economy. So Bangladesh is going to go there. And the more we grow, the more resource pressure we are going to be under. So this is an absolute imperative for us to get into. And rather than make a long speech, so the message that I have for the investors, and I think someone from the panel from H&M mentioned, that we are sitting on a golden opportunity. This is the time when we can actually leapfrog. We don't have to go the path of other countries. It's been a difficult path for them, but we can partake their knowledge. We can jump, we can leapfrog and embrace the latest in technology. That's what we need. When we are looking at foreign partners, we need technology. We need investment, we need know-how. And the market is there waiting to be explored. Of course, we have the regulatory framework, the investment framework. How do we make investment much more attractive? How do we improve on the ease of business? These are all going to be very, very important issues. But I think what we are looking for is partnerships. Bangladesh is looking for partnerships with the global community, and you bring your good practices to Bangladesh. They won't necessarily be best practices, but if we fine-tune it in the context of Bangladesh, a good practice will become a best practice. And that's really what we are looking for. And I remember, and this is one of my parting thoughts for you, many years ago I was born in the port city of Chowdhury. And the airport terminal was very small. I think it was only about this big. There were only a few waiting chairs. And there was one poster. It was from our tourism corporation that I often looked at. And this was of a lady in sari, very elegant, standing on the beach in Cox's Bazar, and the waves are coming in. And the slogan in the poster was, "Visit Bangladesh before the tourists come." I say to you as investors, visit Bangladesh, not just visit, invest in Bangladesh before the other investors come. And that investment should be in the circular economy. FBCCI President, if he was here, I would have told him that one of the things we would like to do is at the Ministry of Environment, we have the Secretary here, along with the FBCCI. We have a former President of the FBCCI, a colleague of mine in the Parliament, development partners. Let us sit down and make a roadmap. Let us identify the opportunities for investment, and then let us go forward. We wish you excellent stay in Bangladesh. I hope you'll get time out and visit the rest of the country. Dhaka is not Bangladesh, so you need to visit rural Bangladesh as well.